y'all, it's Belle. Welcome back to my channel. Today we have another book haul. Told you this was going to be a book haul channel. So we have a little bit of everything. We have books that were sent to me, a few I won in giveaways. Amazon's doing the sale again, or they still are currently, where you buy 3 for the price of 2. They've been doing it the past week or so, it feels like, again. And then a lot of eBay purchases, which are very cheap. Some black whales and then Amazon purchases at regular price. So there's a little bit of everything. First author sent me Amelie, Trott, I think is how you say it, and the Earth Watchers by Moyra Irving. And I'm gonna go kind of fast because there's a lot of books. All it says on the back is, "Our planet is in great danger. Are you ready? Will you help us?" "Yes," cried a lone voice from the crowd. "No more war. Children in charge." And soon thousands more took up the chant. No more war. Children in charge. I'm excited to see what all that's about. Can't wait. If you've watched other videos, you know I love the In Time, the Stuck in Time series by Dave Johnson. And he just released 2 novellas for it. Stuck in 1855, Lucy Travels East. Stuck 1966, No Time to Groove. And I love this series, so they're short novellas, but I'm excited to get to them, and the covers are beautiful. So excited to have these. Coldwater Ridge, and the second book, Silverstone Valley, Adventures of Sadie and Clyde by Hannah Kaye. Arizona Territory, 1889. Billy Bob Clyde sets off west after receiving a cryptic message from his long-lost father. Although Clyde thinks Pa found the California gold he went searching for years ago, he also suspects Pa is in danger, and he's determined to help. But Clyde's journey is waylaid in the ghost town of Cactus Poke when he gets arrested as a suspect in a recent robbery. The town's claim to fame, a solid gold nugget known as the Goldwater Potato, has gone missing, and they think Clyde took it. Desperate to prove his innocence and get onto California, Clyde strikes a deal with the town's crazy one-legged sheriff. If Clyde can recover the stolen tater and track down the real thief, the notorious outlaw Jack, the sheriff will let him go. Assisted by Sadie, a fearless young gunslinger with more than one trick up her sleeve, Clyde embarks on a mission to hunt down the gold nugget and clear his name. But all is not as it seems in Cactus Poke. So very excited for those. So thank you to the authors on this back in September, and I just got it. Born Behind Bars by Padma Venkattraman. Probably saying that wrong, I'm sorry. Garbay has been in jail since the day he was born because his mom is serving time for a crime she didn't commit. Their cellmates are his only friends, and he's never even met his dad. The one place he feels a little bit free is the prison classroom, where his teacher delights him with stories of the outside world's wonders. When the new warden announces that Garbay is too old to stay, he's suddenly released without his mom to fend for himself on the city streets of Chennai. Fortunately, Franny, another street kid, takes him under her wing and helps him eke out a living, even sharing the tree she calls home. Plotting their future is difficult and dangerous in a world that doesn't value low-caste kids like them. But Ronnie has enough confidence for 2, plus a trusty slingshot that comes in handy for hunting meals and handling bullies. This isn't quite the life Garbay dreamed of. Still, he's discovered he's not the type to give up. Justice needs to be served, and he's determined to show the world that he and his mom deserve a place in it. That just sounds like a very important read, and I think it just sounds very different and very intrigued. And then I want How Do You Live? I'm not gonna say this right. By Genzaburo Yoshino, with a foreword by Neil Gaiman. The heartwarming Japanese classic, over 2 million copies sold. The Japanese classic about finding one's place in the world, beloved by millions since its original publication in 1937, is now available in English for the first time. Here's the back. Following the death of his father, Copper, 15, faces enormous changes, and he wonders about things he used to take for granted, including his place in the world, friendship and loyalty, and the role of luck and choice in his future. Meanwhile, Copper's uncle writes to him in a journal, sharing knowledge and offering his advice on life's big questions as Copper begins to consider what matters most. Very intrigued. 1937, originally written, so many copies sold and translated to English for the first time, and was translated by Bruno Navosky. Very excited. And then I want a copy of Game Over, Shrinkwithers by Sarah Ray Schwarcz. When 12-year-old Jenny arrives home a week before school ends, she learns her summer plans have been turned upside down. Jenny's been selected to compete in the Tri-Top Tech Run, a competition for talented children to explore options to combat global resource pollution and depletion, largely due to the actions of the evil Shrinkwithers before it's too late. Worried about being separated from her family, the situation deteriorates further when her brother Branch goes missing. Ginny will need all her sassy traits, magical powers, jokes, and a bit of luck to keep her balanced as she battles for Earth's survival against climate change and the Shrinkwithers, and fights to keep her family together and safe as they battle real and fantastical dangers. Sounds like a fast-paced adventure. Very excited. Thanks to all the people who host giveaways. Very excited to win. And then on to regular purchases. Then I'll do Amazon and eBay last. First, it was another case of, I thought it was YA, but it's listed as YA and middle grade, so I'm gonna assume upper middle grade. So I'm very excited. The Robber Girl by Franny Billingsley. The Robber Girl has a good dagger. Its voice in her head is as sharp as its two edges, which taper down to a point. Today the Robber Girl and her dagger will ride with Gentleman Jack into the Indigo Heart to claim the gold that's rightfully his. But instead of gold, the Robber Girl finds a dollhouse cottage with doorknobs the size of apple seeds. She finds 2 dolls who give her 3 tasks, even though she knows that 3 is too many tasks. The right number of tasks is 2, like the ones grandmother gave to Gentleman Jack. Fetch unto me the mountain's gold, to build our city fair. Fetch unto me the wingless bird, and I will make you my hair. Very intrigued. I'm fascinated just alone by what some reviews said. So, it sounds like there's trauma and just all sorts of things. And people were very impressed by the writing. So I'm very excited. And I got Around Curiosity's Edge and Hidden Meridians. J.P. Hostetler. I think this is upper middle grade. It was kind of hard to find. People said a little bit of both, so I'm gonna say upper middle grade. A hidden world waits. A dark society schemes, and a ship sails to protect that which cannot be lost. Salem Swan knows none of this as he arrives in Easterly. He knows only that he misses his recently deceased mother, that his new guardian, his uncle Ulysses, is unique, and that the boat which will now be his home is unlike anything he has ever seen. Fearful of this new reality, Salem starts to ask questions that uncover the truth about his distant uncle, his long-gone father, and the true nature of the ship. The answers lead him into a place of myth and legend where fantastic creatures wage an ages-old war with a radical group bent on eliminating them forever. It says it's rich with mythology from around the world. Very excited I found this. Another one I was very excited to find. The Crystal Palace Chronicles, Graham Whitlock. This is Star of Nimrod. I think this is the first in the series too. Joe's world is turned upside down when he discovers a shattered compass among the brambles where the Crystal Palace once stood, and travels through time back to 1888. With help from the creator of Sherlock Holmes, Daredevil, Blondin, and the Queen of the Gypsies, Joe must foil dangerous diamond thieves to uncover dark secrets about the People's Palace. Standing on boundaries between worlds, its secrets are tied to the fate of Joe's family. The Victorian Crystal Palace, traveling through time, creator of Sherlock Holmes. Very excited. It just sounds incredible. And then I found CS High, Julianne Zadalis. So CS High meets CSI, like the show. I love it. As Pinehurst Academy celebrates a new football stadium, freshman genius Simon Musgrave discovers a math teacher dead in his classroom clutching a vial of medicine. Basketball star Marcus Jackson, who thinks he's Sherlock Holmes in a varsity jacket, joins Simon and rebel Laurel Carmichael to analyze evidence authorities have overlooked. Using skills they've learned in their high school lab, they become convinced that the math teacher was murdered. Their detective work leads to several suspects, including a prominent member of the school community. Trusting in science and despite consequences, Marcus, Simon, and Laurel are determined to uncover the truth, even when the truth leads to a showdown in the lab. What happened in Pinehurst Academy years ago that has led to a teacher's murder now? Put his middle grade, but I'd say upper middle grade for this one too, because it said freshman high school, so right out of middle school. Sounds very interesting. I'm excited. We have The Wing Thief by Samantha Adkins. So beautiful. Vista wanted 2 things, adventure and freedom, but nothing could prepare her for the fall that would change everything. In a single moment, Vista's comfortable life in the home tree is over, and she must find a way to survive in the forest alone. She soon learns that not everyone can be trusted, and must now race to save the family she left behind. In a forest filled with magic and trickery, just how far can a flightless fairy go? This was another one that was, people said middle grade and young adults, so probably upper middle grade. Very excited. I have a thick one. A Dangerous Riddle of Chance by F.L. Ying. When an unusual group of friends embark on an adventure, they face dangerous challenges beyond their imagining. Chance, a cheerful harlequin of goodness, and his sidekick Henry de Poisson must solve a riddle to extend his life on Earth so that he can unite the three kingdoms, one of flora, one of animals, and that of humans, and save the planet from destruction. Confronting Chance and his young friends, Tim Needles, who's 10, Lottie Pert, age 13, and their dog Ram, at a circus at World's End, is his evil nemesis, the sinister Dr. Slantane de Off. Hell yeah, middle grade naming. Who has been sent by the mysterious Gwenevillus from the Altar World to kill Chance and all do-gooders who stand in the way. Chance, who magically came to life from a wooden statue, has only 99 days on Earth to carry out his mission as predicted by Cecil the Thin, a ghostly soothsayer, before he implodes in a puff of smoke. Can the precious gem of knowledge in his possession save him and his friends from certain death? Will good triumph over evil? Very intrigued by that, if I can get past the names. Very excited. And there's a dog. Maribel, a tale for old soul children and childish adults. Well, I've always felt like I've had an old soul. I've always been told that, and I'm definitely a childish adult. So, this is for me. By Barbara Wade Rose. Such a beautiful cover. And some illustrations throughout. How did one prickly, imperious schoolgirl, not particularly fond of children, become London's most original nanny? The Great War is over, but Maribel's father still has not come home. Soon to graduate from her mother's school for white blouse professions in London, Maribel misses him dearly. Otherwise, her ambition is to become a country postmistress where she needs not deal with other people. Then the king sends her on a quest. Her mother gives her a magic heirloom, and Maribel, dragging her 10-year-old brother Thomas with her, flies through time and space to retrieve the soldier who won the Great War's greatest medal. She is to bring him to a royal celebration at Stonehenge in only 2 weeks. So many monarchs to contend with. The king wants Maribel to bring back storied legends to help him celebrate. King Cobra from the London Zoo wants Maribel to free the animals. Angus, the West Highland Terrier, wants to dethrone King Cobra and become king of the beast. And handsome artist Bharat Gupta wants to save Maribel from the mystery man following them. But why is her father hiding the unknown soldier behind the medal? And how do Maribel and Bharat end up on trial for treason? What she learns and how she comes of age makes Maribel leave behind the tedium of sorting other people's letters to become a prickly, imperious, and magical nanny. The handsome guy thing sounds like upper middle grade too, but like it says, old soul children and childish adults, so I'm gonna say upper middle grade. But very excited. Another one I'm happy I found all these actually. I think almost all of these, yeah. I never heard anybody talk about the ones that I bought. So that's always it's just a rush for me. I just love finding incredible sounding ones that I'd never heard of before. It's like finding a treasure. And same with this, Evelina Jones and the Eye of the Storm by Lori Adams. Orphaned on the banks of the Mississippi River, Evelina Jones realizes that she has a strange connection to water, but she has never heard of sea magic, octosapiens, or heirs to the High Fleet. When an extraordinary woman arrives in a swirling waterspout, Evelina's life explodes with wild adventures and unimaginable truth. She is the last heir of the infamous pirate Davy Jones. Evelina is whisked away to a giant school ship crewed by half-one creatures and teeming with heirs of the world's most nefarious pirates. With food that fights back and school supplies that giggle or explode, Evelina realizes bizarre and danger are normal aboard a pirate heir school ship, and not everyone can be trusted. When Evelina is accused of a terrible crime, she and her new deckmates race to uncover the truth, unaware that a deeper, darker fate awaits. By Davy Jones. I lived on when we moved to the Midwest where my husband would work. I lived right at the Mississippi River for 5 years, so very intrigued. So happy about that. And The Ice House by Monica Sherwood. Perfect looking winter read. Louisa feels trapped. There's a global temperature drop and her family's been snowed into their apartment building for months. Her parents are overwhelmed. Her little brother is driving her up the wall. She's barely seen her friends, so they're growing apart. But her neighbor and former friend, Luke, has been around a lot after his dad's scary ice-related accident. The universe is out of whack, and all she wants is for normal to return fast. Everything changes when Louisa and Luke build an ice house as a getaway from their stressed-out families. But when they discover a mystifying window to what could lie ahead, it sets them on an impossible mission to restore the world to its rightful order. That was mysterious, interesting. Even when the world seems frozen in place, sooner or later change will come. Very excited. And I got The Namer of Spirits by Todd Mitchell. I would have got this sooner, but it's one of the ones I'd entered 10,000 giveaways trying to get. When you can get them with a giveaway, you might as well try. In the frontier village of Last Hope, people dismiss 12-year-old Ashnaro as a flighty child who claims hear the true names of things. But when enraged forest sprites attack, Ash shows that the names she hears have power. After taming a destructive forest spirit, Ash teams up with Finn, a wild forest boy, and embarks on an unusual journey to save her village. In this steampunk eco-fantasy, the perils of deforestation and the power of friendship are explored through a fantastical adventure involving giant miscats, tempestuous forest spirits, a supernatural puppy, and a girl with a special gift for shaping what things become. Giant miscats, forest spirits, supernatural puppy, steampunk eco-fantasy, like, come on. Yeah, now I'm excited about this. Yay. I've been eyeing book 1 forever because it's like perfect for me, detective mystery, like middle grade. And then I saw a second one came out, so I just snapped them both up at the same time. It's the Gracie Fairshall Mysteries, so by Susan Brownrigg. The first one is Gracie Fairshall and the Mysterious Guest. Gracie Fairshall and the Trouble at the Tower. Strange things are afoot at the Majestic. Check yourself in for a mystery beside the seaside. Gracie Fairshall and her family have barely moved into the Majestic, a Blackpool boarding house, when her mom mysteriously vanishes. Gracie teams up with her younger brother George, siblings Violet and Tom, and maid Phyllis. They must work out why one of the guests, a con man conjurer, has made Maud disappear. Can they get her safely home as the clock ticks down to the 1935 illumination switch on? So many words in there I'm intrigued by and are keywords for me. Like, I'm so excited. And then I got some graphic novels. The Queen's Favorite Witch, The Wheel of Fortune by Benjamin Dixon and Rachel Smith. This is just a short one. Life's a Witch. Elizabethan England was a time of superstition and strange goings-on. If you had a problem, most people would go to a witch for help, even the Queen of England herself. When Queen Elizabeth I's personal witch dies in mysterious circumstances, Daisy, a precocious young witch, decides to audition as her replacement. But Daisy is from a poor family, and they don't just let anyone into the royal court. Daisy is desperate and determined. She's willing to do almost anything to get her shot, much to the chagrin of her more well-to-do competitors. Little does Daisy suspect that there are also dark forces at play, trying to manipulate events for their own evil ends. Daisy represents a wild card, one that may decide the fate of many. With so many wanting her to fail, Daisy will need all her grit and determination to make it through these auditions alive. Elizabethan England, love that. Witches, yes. Tide Song. The only thing that's harder than magic is a friendship. Sophie isn't great at magic, but her family wants her to attend the best magic academy, and they send her to train with distant relatives. However, Cousin Sage and Auntie Lon seem more interested in giving Sophie chores than in teaching her magic. Sophie attempts her own magic, but accidentally entangles it with the magic of a young water dragon named Lur, who is now trapped in human form. Lur is everything Sophie isn't, skilled at magic and beloved by Auntie Lon. If Sophie fixes her mistake, she'll lose her best magic teacher. Will she make things right, or will Lur be stuck forever? I don't think I said what this was. Tide Song by Wendy Zhu. I'm probably saying that wrong. Her last name is XU. And the art is so beautiful. I just love it. I just love it so much. Very excited. And then I got The Sleepover by Michael Regina. It's like a creepy good time. Beautiful art. When the Russo family returns home from vacation to discover their nanny, Ruby, has unexpectedly passed away, Matthew takes the news the hardest. After weeks of reeling, his 3 best friends decide to cheer him up with a night of junk food, prank calls, and scary movies. But their plans for an epic sleepover are jeopardized when Matt's single mother, unable to take any more time off from work, is forced to hire a new nanny on the spot to watch over Matt and his younger sister, Judy. Miss Swan, however, is all too happy to have the boys over. She actually seems like the perfect babysitter, letting the kids eat whatever they want and mostly leaving them alone. But there's something about her Matt doesn't trust. He even begins to fear she could be the witch from local legend. Is he just having a hard time dealing with Ruby's passing, or are Matt and his horror-buff friends in for the fright of their lives as they come face to face with a real monster? Very intrigued by that. Witches. The art's beautiful. So excited. Now on to the Amazon sale. I'm so happy to see this was on it. Clarissa the Brave by Lisa McMahon. There's gorgeous illustrations throughout too. The only good cat is a fed cat. Clarissa, a young ship mouse, knows this to be true. She and her brother Charles Sebastian were taught to be careful, as all mices are. But caution is no match for the sea, which took their mother, and is certainly no match for Special Lady, the horrid cat who ate their sister. Now the siblings hide in their pantry crate, knowing every move they make could be their last. When a shocking mutiny forces Clarisse onto a small leaky boat with Special Lady and a dozen hungry sailors with deadly boots, Charles Sebastian is left on the ship to fend off mutineers, a flock of irate chickens, and an inquisitive human prisoner, a mouse's worst enemy. Being careful may have saved them in the past, but now Clarisse and Charles Sebastian will need to grow bold if they are to survive and keep their promise to find each other again. That just sounds so heartwarming and, oh, my heart. I love it. And I got one, I don't know if it's Christmas, but it looks perfect for winter time. It's got an award on it, a John Newbery Medal for Most Distinguished Contribution to American Literature for Children. Miracle on Maple Street by Virginia Sorensen. Illustrations like that throughout. The war is over and Marley's father is home, but he's not the same. Something inside him seems as cold and dead as the winter world outside. But when the family moves to Grandma's old house on Maple Hill, miracles begin to happen. The sap in the trees begins to rise, the leaves start to turn, and maybe, just maybe, Marley's father will begin to bloom again, like the world around them. Aww. It just sounds like a heartwarming read. I'm very excited. And then one I found and I got very excited about, Hunger, Winter, a World War II novel by Rob Curry. In late 1944, the Nazis have their sights set on expanding their empire by conquering the Dutch. In response, 13-year-old Dirk's papa leaves everyone he loves behind to fight with the resistance. After the Gestapo snatches his older sister, Dirk learns they're coming for him next. A knock on the door in the middle of the night catapults Dirk and his 6-year-old sister Anna into a frightening journey as Dirk suddenly finds himself solely responsible for protecting her. Together with only the food they can carry in a small bag, the siblings set out on a desperate journey across the Netherlands to find their grandparents, father and sister. Dirk's greatest challenge comes when he must decide whether to stay in a house targeted for bombardment or request help from a powerful but untrustworthy man, a German officer who deserted. An important read, can be tough to read, but I think it's important to read. Excited to have that. And then lastly, for the Amazon sale, as far as what I've gotten so far in the mail, is, I didn't realize it was this big, The Wizard of Oz. It's a classic edition. And the naked hardback is the same as the cover. I love The Wizard of Oz. I have a lot of special editions of so many classics. I don't know if y'all ever want to see a video on that, but I have so many editions of, like, I don't even know which ones I have the most of, but like Alice in Wonderland, Heidi, Secret Garden, Wizard of Oz, Little Women, stuff like that. And this is just full of some of the most beautiful art. So vivid in color. I mean, look at this. I'm so excited this was in the sale. And I didn't know how big it was, but I love it. And this video is already kind of long. So I might do a separate video for the eBay purchases because I still have a few more coming anyway, and there's some, that's what the most of is in this haul is the eBay stuff, so I might just do a separate video just for that. So this one's just not as super long because the eBays are the biggest stack. And I know I have a lot of hauls. I don't do them just once a month like a lot of people because that would be a very long video, I'm sure. But also I don't have as many videos to film. Like I don't vlog yet. I don't know how that would go. And I don't have unboxings. I don't, you know, stuff like that. So this is just the videos I have. I have all these books, so instead of doing one a month, I break it down. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. If you would like to subscribe, I would love that. I hope you love the shirt of today. My Buffy. As usual, illustrators will all be listed below. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.